so many things that are going on and so many things that you can do that can help enhance your garden for the spring. Today I'm going to show you how you can make leaf mulch and also leaf mold. I'll show you the difference and how you're going to make those and amend your soil for free. You're in the garden with Patrick. Leaf mulch and leaf mold are something that you can use in your garden to amend the soil, bring back great nutrients and organic matter into your soil. So I'm going to show you how you can do that for free. Most of us, in whatever part of the country and zone that you live in, there's usually some leaves that are falling at this time of year. And one of the things that you can also do is, if you don't have very many leaves in your particular neighborhood, you can go and maybe even ask somebody if you can rake up their leaves for them. I'm sure they'd love that. But you can take those leaves, and very, very simple methods to amend your garden and your soil, put back nutrients and organic material, and it's very simple. So let me show you how it's done. The difference mainly between leaf mold and leaf mulch, the difference really, the leaf mold is going to take about a year to maybe even 2 years to break down, and I'm going to show you how simple you can do that. That's something that you basically put in a bag and you just kind of forget about it. The leaf mulch, there's various ways of amending the leaf mulch. You can just use it the way it is with the leaves themselves, or you can chop them up, as I've shown here, using either the lawnmower, or you can also do a weed whacker or something like that, or a simple method by using just a shovel in your garbage bag or garbage can. So I'll show you how to do that. So making leaf mulch and leaf mold is essentially the same process at the very beginning. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your leaves, and again, I always like to use good body mechanics because I am a physical therapist. So just try to use your best mechanics as you can to put your leaves in some type of a trash container. And like I said, if you don't have a lot of leaves in your neighborhood, there's always somewhere where you can find leaves. And again, this is a great resource for free. So what I do here is I start first and I put a small little layer in. And what I'll usually do is I'll take my shovel and I'll try to emulsify a little bit, or break up the leaves a little bit more. So then that way it takes a little bit less time for both methods to break down. So again, we're still doing both methods, the leaf mold and the leaf mulch. So by chopping up the leaves into smaller pieces, it'll enhance and break down a little bit quicker, and that will allow your leaf mulch or your leaf mold to start to break down more quickly than it would if you just put the leaves in. But again, you could do it however you want. You can use the method that I use with some type of a shovel or something like that. You could also put it in the bag. You can stomp on it. You can do something like that. That would be also fun if you have kids to do something like that. The other thing that we're going to do next, that I also do same thing for my leaf mulch and for my leaf mold, is I'm going to put water. The only difference is I'm going to put a little bit of moisture in on the leaf mulch, but I'm going to put a lot more moisture in on my leaf mold. Then the two methods are still going to be the same. I'm going to use a little bit of water, and I'm going to layer a little bit of water inside here. Not a tremendous amount of moisture, because what we want to do is just add a little bit of the breakdown and help and enhance that. So put a little bit of water in there, and then what we're going to do is we're going to shovel another maybe 6 to 8 inches or so of the leaves. And then once we do that, we're going to go ahead and continue that process of putting 6 to 8 inches, chop them up with my shovel, add a little water, and then I'll show you what the final product is going to look like. Okay, so now that we've had our crushed leaves now, however method you want to use, we're going to poke some holes in the bag. Okay, so we're going to take the bag and we're just going to poke a few holes, let a little air inside here. Okay, flip that over, put some more, and that's all we need really, just a little bit of airflow because there does need to be some oxygen in the bag here. Then what I want you to do is open your bag a little bit, and then you're going to pour some of that water that we talked about earlier. So actually I'm going to throw it in this way a little bit easier, and you can mix that around a little bit if you'd like. And you want to have a little bit of moisture in your leaf mold bag here. Okay, so tie that back up. Really simple. And you can mix it around a little bit. It doesn't have to be any specific way. As far as for your storage, you can store it upright this way. You can lay it down flat if you want. It really doesn't matter. I think depending on how much space that you have, that's how you're going to be doing this. Now, again, this is for our leaf mold. The leaf mold, you need to be moist, and kind of every maybe a month or 2 months or so, you can just pick it up and move it around, open it up, take a look and see how it is. If you might need a little bit more moisture in there, put a little bit moisture. You'll see it breaking down over the next several months. This is a great method if you have a little bit of space and you want to just make some leaf mold, which is great for amending your soil. You just let it go, let it sit for about a year or even up to 2 years, and it'll just break down on its own. And then you'll have some great, beautiful material, organic material that you can put back into your garden. All right, so what I want you to do is compare the two methods that we use, and again, do whatever it feels better for you and what works best. This was the lawnmower method. If you can see, it is definitely a lot more pulverized and in smaller pieces. And what's going to happen with this is going to break down a heck of a lot quicker, number one. And number two, this is a lot easier to use as a mulch, a true leaf mulch. Okay, this you can see, not bad. There are some big pieces, but they also have a lot of smaller pulverized pieces too, depending on what method you're stomping on it or you're using your shovel. But again, this is one of those things, you just do whatever you need to do, and this would work equally as well as this does here. This is a heck of a lot easier. You just use your lawnmower, blow them into a little area, use your lawnmower, and put them in a bag. So that would be probably the simplest method. But again, each one, I want you to try to think about keeping this a little bit moist. That'll help a little bit with the breakdown, especially for the winter. And then you're going to kind of check this every once in a while to make sure that everything's going okay. In your leaf mulch bag, you don't really need to put any holes in this. It's fine the way it is, in my opinion. But again, what you can do is, if you want to put a few holes in there, that'll allow a little bit of air circulation in there too. But I'm not putting enough moisture in there that it's going to really matter. So for the breakdown, too bad. So again, out of the three methods, the fun method is the stomping method. The second hardest is using your shovel. And of course, the most easiest and probably the best method, in my opinion, is using your lawnmower to get this down into this nice form here. Put this on your bed in your... You could use this during the winter also to help, but also more importantly, you can use this to amend your soil, put some great nutrients back into your soil. You can also put a couple of handfuls in your compost. That'll help. This will be your brown component in your compost to help. And I'll put a link down below in the description box of a video that I did on composting also. So I encourage you to use these methods. So I've cleaned up my leaves in my patio, and as you can tell, I still have plenty more that are going to be in need of cleaning up. So it's an ongoing process, and don't waste those. Another great use for leaves is to use it as a mulch around your delicate plants, so they are protected during the winter. So really, in this method, you just need to just take your leaves. You don't even have to do anything major with them. Just can pile them around, in this case my rose bush, and what that's going to help do is insulate it, so if it does get cold or freeze, it will help save and keep the roots warm, so it acts as an insulator for your delicate plants. Buying soil amendments like manure or compost can get a bit pricey at times, but these beauties can save you a ton of money, and they're good for improving the soil and the beneficial insects that you have in your garden. So I'd like to know how you use your leaves in the fall. Pop a comment down below and let me know how you're going to be using your leaves this fall and what you've done that works best. If you found something useful in this video, please share it and give it a thumbs up and a like. Until next time, happy gardening.